Fam, today we go over how to back squat, one of the most, I'd say, controversial movements out there actually. So if you cannot properly produce force through your abs, my recommendation is to not start with back squat, start with front squat. But after you've mastered front squat, then I will start with back squat. But today, of course, since you guys have practiced your front squat on your own, we're gonna go over back squat today. Now with back squat, it's really dependent on your morphology in terms of where to place the bar, but you want to practice both styles. Today we're going to go over your high bar squat, okay? Or your Olympic squat, I guess. And then next time we'll go over low bar, where the bar is placed lower on your spine. So let's go over setup first. When you're setting up for your squat, if you're doing a high bar squat, you want the bar to be resting on your upper traps, okay? Not your neck, up here, your cervical spine, or your upper traps. So to understand that, the first thing you want to look at is if I'm looking at the bar head on, I want to make sure I'm about thumb length away from the seams to make sure my arms are even. So just looking at the bar here, I'm looking for evenness. And once I get it even, I wrap my thumbs around that bar. Okay? Even now, as I'm about to set up, I'm already kind of tightening my lats. So I'm kind of breaking the bar a little bit and pulling my shoulders down to my hip socket early before I even approach the bar. The other things I'm doing are I'm already bracing through my obliques. So I'm pulling in as if someone's going to push me in my sides. I'm drawing my sides in and pulling my Kegel up from my bottom up. Of course, if you haven't watched the video yet, make sure you check out our How to Brace for Compound Movements video. I'll put it in the description below. But make sure you check that out first. Now, I'm already bracing, my lats are down. Now to set up where the bar is going to be placed, I'm going to make sure I get the bar right on this little groove here, my traps. Okay, not up here in my neck, okay, and not super low, like low bar. It's just right where this groove is, okay? And once I get into the groove, I make sure I'm even, and my feet are actually underneath the bar, okay? And I'm already creating tension, meaning I'm already twisting the floor, which is something where you're basically thinking about your feet like opening up a pickle jar, twisting your toes out, turning your heels in, and then you're digging your feet into the floor. Now, in this position, make sure you're pulling your lats down. So I'm taking the bar and drawing my elbows to my hip pocket, okay? Now as I'm doing that, it's intensifying my brace, my obliques and my Kegel. If you watch the bracing video, you know to take a deep breath here. Brace everything solid. And you come off the rack. That's your first squat you'll do. It's coming off the rack and squeezing your butt. Now that we understand setup, now we're ready to squat. So I'm going to go through the motion again, just so you can see what's happening. So I'm here, setting up, thumb length away, bracing already, lats are on. Get the segment on my traps, make sure it's even, and I pull my lats down to my obliques, and I twist the floor. Okay, now I step back slow, 1, 2, maybe another step to make sure you're even. I like to go about a little bit wider than shoulder width for me, but it depends on you in regards to your stance, okay? Some people like to squat super close, and some people squat super wide. It depends on your mobility. I like to go right outside shoulder width for me, and I point my feet out about 30 degrees as well to get some glute activation. When I'm ready, my first step is deep breath, and I draw my lats down immediately. And once my lats draw down, I immediately think twist the floor. It's lats and twist, okay? Once I get those two connected, then my hamstrings are leading the movement. So I'm gonna first show it to you. I'm pulling, I'm pulling, I'm pulling, I'm pulling, I'm pulling, I'm pulling. And I come through. Now, how I was pulling there is important to understand. I wasn't just perpetually twisting the floor the entire time. I was trying to actively pull with my hamstrings, okay? To make you understand that cue, I'm gonna show it to you without the bar first. So if I'm here, imagine a string attached from your butt to between your heels, and you're thinking about, when you're twisting, you're actively pulling yourself into the squat. So if I just pull with tension, I should feel my hamstrings engage all the way down the squat. And if you're not feeling that, you're probably just dumping into some other muscles you don't want to use. So make sure you understand that sequence. I'm gonna go over that again so we get it. So we're here, thumb length apart, underneath, get to the groove, lats. Okay, ready to go. Deep breath, abs and lats, twist, hamstring. Okay, those are happening at the same time. Deep breath, lats, twist, hamstring. Now let's do the whole movement. Lats, twist, hamstring is taking me down all the way. I'm still pulling with my lats. Up against that bar. So now you have to understand how to brace in the context of the squat. Like when do you brace? When do you reinforce? So on and so forth, right? So the first place you want to brace is coming off the rack. So you don't want to go into it prematurely thinking you got it and you hurt your back off the first thing you do, right? So when you focus and you set up, again, we know our position, thumb length away from the seam, right? Grab the bar, and we're already tightening up here. So like I mentioned before, I'm already pulling my obliques in, I'm already kegling. Now, I haven't taken my big breath yet. I'm just getting everything solid in relation to what? My lats, okay? So my lats are already tight. So my brain remembers lats on when I get underneath the bar. So I'm here, lats, obliques, kegel. Boom, everything's on. All right, now I'm ready. When I get underneath, I don't lose it. I'm focusing on my lats still, focusing on my obliques as I figure out my position. Now, take one deep breath out, take another deep breath. I fill up and then I kegel and I oblique tight and my lats are on at the same time. So again, deep breath, kegel, obliques, lats, all together, okay? So it should be one sequence. And you can see the bar kind of almost lifts off the rack without me doing anything. Okay, so that's the first place you want to brace. Now I'm going to show you when I come off the rack how solid it looks. So if I'm here, deep breath, you can see how solid it comes off the rack. Okay, and that's how powerful you want to be because you tell your body that that's how you want to finish your squat. You never want to finish it weak and unstable. So I'll show you a weaker position. If I don't brace, I'm here, and I kind of like get a little unstable coming off the rack versus being here. So you can see one's more powerful than the other. Okay, so that's the first step, bracing off the rack. So now that you understand how to come off the rack and brace properly there, now you have to understand what to do when you're ready to squat from the top down, how to reinforce from the bottom up. Okay, so I'm gonna take you through the first step, which you know pretty well by now. I'm here. If you do deep breaths out, I'm already engaged to some degree. Get in position. Off the rack. Okay, I get to my setup. Now here, I've let my air out a little bit after my brace off the rack, but I don't lose tightness. What does that mean? I keep my kegel, my obliques on, even though I lose my breath out, even though I let my air out. Okay, so I take a few deep breaths, let the air out. Now I fill up. After I fill up, all the cues we know, I keep my air in. Okay, all the way to the bottom. Now here I reinforce, meaning I get my kegel, my obliques on harder, and I come back up. Now I'm gonna show you what a weak reinforcement looks like and a strong reinforcement. So again, deep breath. This is a weak one. Down to the bottom, after I let go. That's what happens. Now this is a strong reinforcement. Okay, you can see that difference, what I did there. What I'm changing is simply keeping my air in, but I'm just tightening around my body a little more. What does that mean? I tighten my obliques harder, here. I tighten my kegel harder, and my lats. So never should you think now with squats, these are separate cues, they're never separate cues. You're not thinking lats, then this and this. At the bottom, I'm thinking, if this tightens, this is tightening. If this tightens, this is tightening, okay? And of course, what does that mean in relation to your feet? This is happening too. The twist is continuously happening. I'm gonna show that to you one more time so you can see those in action. So I'm here. This is a full brace movement. That's how you do a full squat. Now, you notice even on the unrack, I was solid. Okay, so we see this too. I want to go over this. Even when people unrack the bar, they're tired, right? They're just like, they let go, and they go in the rack. Believe it or not, a lot of injuries happen right there. So if you can stay tight all the way, even as you're finishing, finish my squat, I'm still tight. You're good to go. Okay? So now you can see the sequence, you can see how I was bracing. Now practice that, but practice it slow. Don't rush the movement. If you can't go as low as I was, find a ball you can use, right? So you can use like an exercise ball, like this. Work your way to the ball first. And when you can master that, when you feel like all the things are engaged, go to a lower ball. So you can practice what we call double linear progression. This means that first week, practice going up in weight to this ball, okay? During the first 2 weeks. Third week, drop the ball lower, okay? And drop your weight. Almost like you're resetting, going to a lower range of motion. And then for the next week, go up in weight at that ball now. Then the next week, same thing. You go to a lower ball, drop the weight. And then for the following week, you go up in weight for that ball and you keep going. So you're progressing both in range of motion and you're progressing in strength in terms of your numbers on the bar going up. Okay? Don't feel the need to like just rush your way down to the squat. You won't get any benefit. Okay? So practice your cues. Make sure you feel them all the way. That's how you back squat, y'all. So make sure to get some more content like this. Make sure you hit subscribe, hit the like button. Until next time.